On Storyboard today, Indian Readership Survey 2014 shows growth in print readership. YouTube star Superwoman on what makes content tick. Curious announces two-day A&M Fest melt. Hello and welcome to Storyboard. I'm Pavni Mittal. Some good news for the Indian print industry. According to the Indian Readership Survey top-line findings for 2014, readership of India's top 10 dailies grew by around 5% thanks to the general elections. Dainik Jagran retained its top spot as the most widely read publication, while Times of India remains the largest English daily. Now, these findings have come in a year after IRS published its last report, and that's because the revamped IRS drew flack from certain media houses. The question, therefore, is, do these findings mitigate the issues publications had with the IRS, which is crucial in deciding the fate of nearly 16,000 crore rupees of advertising revenues? Take a look.
Nitin, I'll start with you. What's your reaction to IRS 2014?
I think we welcome IRS 2014. It's been twice revalidated, audited by external agencies, back-checked, and therefore now we have two IRS results, 2013 and 2014. So therefore we can make a trend also. And I think the industry should welcome this.
Again, see that data point is available that they are saying the growth, they are attributing the growth to the elections. Isn't that by itself misleading for the marketers? Because that would have been a 2-month or 3-month growth, and it could be that say Q4 2014 there's been degrowth.
So this is, as you know, cumulative figure. So
right.
What is reflected in this is to the extent of that period. So it will get indexed higher to that there. You're right. When 2015 data comes out, whenever it will be, was quite some time away, then the trend line will be drawn between the 3 points. But at this point in time, we have to take it as it is, which is what the data is.
Right. Paritosh, come to you when the new IRS came. We were all elated that we'll have quarter by quarter reporting, and you'll get your data points which will give you better trends. You'll have 4 points per year, and now we're seemingly happy as an industry with just this 1 point per year. So how do you react to that?
No, I don't think we are happy with 1 point per year.
No,
there was a set of circumstances which caused whatever did, and there's no point in now doing a postmortem on that. I think the way to do this is to look forward. I think what Nitin has said is right, that whatever had to be done, all the fracas is over. We should now get into the business of getting a complete study done. I will not be able to give quarterly results this year because there is no continuity. But let's say that we do the 15 at a trot, then we release the 2015 numbers in, let's say, in January or February of 16. Then we go quarterly, and then it sort of resumes from what we sort of left off at the end of 2012. So there's been a hiatus. I think we can fix that. Okay,
Shashi, if readership has gone up by whatever percentage, in some cases has a high as like 15%, 17%, do you see any possibility for the ad rates to go up?
So these are trends, and I'm sure over a period of time there'll be some reflection on this. But having said that, look at last time the IRS came out, the overall table had gone down by 5%. Did the rates come down at overall level of 5%? Right. There is a certain dynamic which operates. So supply and demand controls, the rates. This is, in a manner of speaking, a trend line to indicate what marketers are getting. And at some point in time, there will be a convergence of the two. But two trends are very small, two data points are very small to come to that conclusion.
But it's funny, while we see newspapers shooting up, the same is not true for magazines. Magazines have been flattish. Why is that happening? Because one would have thought reading is reading. So, Paritosh, you have a view on that?
I can parse the numbers a little bit for you.
Sure.
90% of the readership growth actually has come on regional publications. Less than 10%, just a shade less than 10% is on English. So the growth is really happening where the growth has always happened. But English is really where the magazine business sits. There is the magazine business like the general knowledge magazines and all, and by the way, those have grown. So that lot has grown. It is the general interest magazines and the special interest magazines, particularly in English, which are flat or shrinking. And I think the market has shifted there. I think there is a set of issues that we have with digital measurement, which IRS or other studies need to pick up because there's a shift there.
So, Shashi, the digital study, how do you react to that?
Unfortunately, I sit across many industry forums, and I attempt to get a broad spectrum digital study going, where it comes from the ABC, the publisher side, who all represent ABC. It comes from the broadcaster side because of video, they all people like Star are onto video, and Bark probably will be the entry point for that. And it comes from the agency side because of the campaign planning there. So we have worked various models. As in India on measurement, everything pricing is very stuck. Hopefully, if we are lucky, we'll overcome the pricing issue, then we're up and running. But to suffice it to say, we are strongly looking at digital measurement, which covers all three parts of the spectrum.
HT Media especially is making significant investments in digital.
Yep.
I mean, huge. They're not normal measurements.
Yep.
And you should be embracing digital measurement within the IRS.
Absolutely.
Which is the most sensible way. How come you haven't seen that lobby where a lot of the English language papers especially, a lot of their readership has gone digital?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're right. We are very heavily investing because the future of media and news media is going to be a combination of print and digital, with weightages changing as we move along. And we are in various forums lobbying for digital measurement also to happen along with print measurement. I think IRS is one where we are trying to do that anyways. Coming to the growth that you talked about, I think growth can be divided into two parts. One, of course, is that the regional papers, as Paritosh said, have grown. The other is that there are competitive dynamics in various markets, and therefore in any market, wherever there is a challenger brand, the number two would be investing in circulation, would be investing in brand, and therefore more acceptance would come. And those are the growths that you are seeing in.
Yes, Shashi.
So I wanted to make a point here to what Nitin is saying. I think there's a mindset issue. So if you look at the print industry in India, is still very strong and robust as an overall industry, and therefore the margins are very good. Probably the margins as a whole, the profit they make is far better than what the broadcast industry makes. But the mindset of the broadcast industry with what they're doing with Bark, the money they put behind Bark is more than 120 crores. While the print industry, or so do the publishing industry, whether it's print or digital, their mindset on measurement, they don't want to put bucks, whether it's IRS or whether it's the digital thing which you're talking about. So it's not an issue of the money, but the money is there, they have more money, it's just that they don't want to, and I'm sure gradually the change will happen because they realize it's a matter of survival.
Okay, so I will stay with you, Shashi, because you said this. You're saying they don't want to. What earthly reason can there be for an entire industry to say, let us have poor measurement?
No, so what will happen, and again I want to be direct on this, unfortunately that's what I'm known
Right.
for. So they will get swamped. So it will happen. Digital measurement will happen, whether it comes from the television side and it's an end-to-end solution, or whether it comes from the publishing side. I'm using the word publishing rather than print, and because I see ABC shepherding it at this point in time. IRS this talk, but IRS is talking about getting the print out first. So everyone talks of digital, no one wanted to put the money where the mouth is. Chances are that broadcast guys will put their money very quickly. And that obviously whoever puts the money first will obviously control the entire business in some manner. Right. So I think if the publishing world doesn't wake up, it's going to be a problem.
I read a story in the WARC publication online forum that projects that the television spend in India will get ahead of the print spend on advertising within the next 3 years. So I think if somebody reads the tea leaves, they should know that in fact this process might get hastened with the quality of measurement that Bark is going to put on the table. Bark is going to put a measure of 20,000 households week on week, and it is evidence based. The IRS is a recall based study, and it sort of seems to come at its own whimsical frequency. It's a matter of time before people will start, those who spend the money, those who have the advertising rupees, who look at this and say that, this is where I have evidence, this is where there is memory, and it's historic memory. Figure this one out.
Shashi, tell me, you got digital where you can measure by the minute in real time. You got Bark, which is going to give us data once a week, but it's capable perhaps of giving it to you. Maybe under pressure, they'll make that faster. And I'm sure for big ticket events, it will be faster. And then you got print who's happy with once a year. Where as a planner.
Or less.
As a planner, how do you deal with it? As wearing the hat
so
of.
More than of a planner, unfortunately, I go back, I'm wearing the hat of measurement in this country at
Correct,
this point in time.
correct.
So I'm more aggrieved by that. So while Bark has the capability, the new technology we have put, and I don't want to evangelize Bark here, has the capability of giving data out as whatever frequency we want.
Absolutely.
We can do it. Actually, where we've got this technology from France, we're putting it out daily. So it's a matter of time, as you say, and I don't want to shoot my mouth off, but at some point in time, that capability exists. It's in our hands when we decide, maybe 6 months, 1 year down the line. But digital, what the platform we have worked on is ready. The platform starts from publishing, print, campaign measurement to video. It's an integrated platform. Who owns it is the issue. chances are the way this business is going,
It'll be run by
chances
the
the broadcast
broadcaster.
guys will own it. And then there are various ramifications. So I'm not linking you to BARC or IRS.
Right.
Some of these guys to wake up, saying that listen, we are letting it slip away, and it's all held up only because of one thing, the money.
Right. Anyway, I'll end with you, Nitin. Overall, do you think this IRS round will go through smoothly? Because it is, like they used to say on TV, early days.
Yeah.
You don't know. You think it will go through smoothly, or are we going to see it stopped by the courts?
I would like it to go through smoothly. I
Right.
hope it goes through smoothly, because as both the gentlemen have mentioned, that unless there is measurement, people will not put their money on that medium. Yes, print is a static medium as opposed to digital and TV, and therefore a lesser frequency is all right. But once a year, mired with all this controversies and delays, is not right or healthy for the industry.
Thank you, Nitin. Thank you, Paritosh. Thank you, Shashi.
We're going to take a short break here. On the other side, YouTube star Superwoman shares the science behind viral content.